male or female, it's okay. If you decide to be gay, it doesn't matter if you're Muslim, it's okay. And that's not morally neutral. What advice would you give parents, especially Muslim, Christian, Jewish parents who are experiencing this now? And one could argue that, look, this is expected. You're living in a secular liberal society. But one would counter that it's not being taught from a morally neutral point of view. Like the way we taught religion in school. It's morally neutral. Whereas this is now being kind of proselytized. How do Muslim parents overcome this massive challenge? Massive.
I'm going to give you guys a little bit of a harsh medicine.
Go on.
The reason why it's a problem is because of the Muslims. We don't teach our kids how to understand our deen through a scope of reason. You can take my sons and tell them why being homosexual is good and okay and this, they're going to disagree with you. Not because I beat them with a stick, but because I reasoned with them.
Did you arm wrestle? Did you show them back?
I pinched them a little.
You got him in a Kimura.
The truth, listen. When you're born in a family, mom, dad, brother, sister, there's something very special.
How are you supposed to rationally teach a 4-year-old? They're 4-year-old.
From the age of 2, the kids can start to reason. From the age of 2. Slowly, you reason, step by step, slowly, gently. And I tell them sometimes, when you get older, you'll understand this more. But
Child development milestones.
I dialogue with my kids all the time. Very important dialogue.
Have you had this dialogue with them?
Absolutely.
How did it
About
go down?
the LGBT movement?
How did
Absolutely. It go down? Very well. Very well. I told my kids how my father sacrificed his life for me to go to school, to have a better life. That's what he did. My father sacrificed his whole life to push up. My dad was not educated. But I'll tell you something. There was no way his kids were not going to be educated. Impossible. He made it impossible for me to fail.
Alhamdulillah. Allah bless you.
Alhamdulillah.
Ameen.
Now when I succeeded, I realized why he did that. But also I had a mom, a dad, brothers, and we had a lot of love in our family. This experience of having a love from your mom and your dad is something very unique. You can't get. The family unit is something very special. There's Allah and then there's the family unit is the second most important thing. This family unit, my kids are experiencing it. And I'm telling them I sacrifice for them. And I'm expecting them to do the same thing. And they're going to want to do it. Why? Because they felt what it is to have mom, dad, brother, sister. We take care of each other. And we have this special experience. And look, if you were born a child and you were abandoned, you might not know that. You might not understand that.
Exactly.
People who get into the sex industry were often abused as children.
Yes, spot on.
Listen, that's the truth. A lot of them were abused, so they didn't have this love. So for me, the number one thing is first have a strong family bond. Me and my family, we spend a lot of time together. We share in a lot of activities. We have common interests. And I want them to desire to replicate that. You cannot replicate that if you're homosexual. So in my opinion, they're going to want to replicate that. So they're going to be attracted to the opposite sex. Because for me, I tell my sons, if our forefather, let's say it's genetic. They're going to tell us it's genetic. Okay, well, my father wasn't gay because I wouldn't be here. And his father wasn't gay. 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 Because if they were, we wouldn't be here. I definitely am not gay. I could tell you that 100%. So how could I father gay children?
I'm not gay either.
They're going to tell me, oh,
I'm not gay.
It's something that can change over time. You don't know that. They don't know that. Listen, the truth of the matter is my kids, I want them to carbon copy what we did for them. I paid the sacrifice for their lives. I want them to pass it forward. The truth of the matter is, if you're gay and it's by nature and this and that's your fitna. I tell my kids, this is not our fitna. We don't have this. We don't have it. In my family, we don't have it. If tomorrow we have it, it's his fitna. Inshallah, he deals with it well.
Inshallah, yeah.
Inshallah, here's the truth of the matter. I tell my kids, look, what's halal is good for the family. What's haram destroys the family. The family is more important than me. When you say, hey, I'm not doing this family thing, that means you put yourself ahead of us. Khalas, you broke our family. One generation supporting the next, and our progeny goes on. You broke away. You said, you know what, I'm doing my lifestyle, my way. Okay, you broke away. That's your choice. When Nuh alayhi salam saw his son running up the hill, what did God tell him? Let him go. That's it, let him go. If my son tomorrow, when he grows up, he's an adult, he wants to do that, let him go. Wallahi, let him go. I won't go on my knees for nobody. But, inshallah, he felt the love, the family unity. He's going to want to replicate it. And if they tell me it could be genetic, wallahi, look at the whole line of Zahabis. Not one of us. How do we get here?
Alhamdulillah.
Recent studies have come out to confirm that
Quite
it cannot be substantiated that there's any genetic basis for homosexuality.
It's actually it's actually nurturing, and that's
Well,
why
they're going to tell you this. They're going to say, look, when there's overpopulation, high density population, they're going to tell you epigenetics. This is one possible argument I've heard. Let's say, look, your genetics, they're not just fixed the way they are. They can morph to your
they're pliable.
your environment. They're going to say, look, because you're in high dense population, that they theorize. It's a theory. It's not proven. That the homosexual gene might fire, so that way we plateau, the population will plateau. Okay, give me the most rational, give me the most logical argument. I'm still not raising my children to be gay, and I'll tell you why. Because I want my progeny to go on. What's halal is for the family. If you look at every law in Islam, it's to put the family up. It's the nucleus of Islam is the family. So my kids, when they're going to feel that love, that, in my opinion, the love of the family is going to outshine everything. They're going to want to reproduce it. However, if your family is cold and judgmental and harsh, you're going to be like, why the hell would I want to do this? So I can have a kid, we don't talk to each other, we don't know each other. But when you see the families tight, very close, I think it eliminates all the problems.
That's a really, really, very, very interesting perspective that I don't think a lot of people have ever approached the subject of homosexuality that way. Very practical. Thanks, man.
Explain to us that web. Remember that you had to study that web with some of your peers, and you had to basically jot whenever there was a divorce or a case of domestic violence, and what that web indicates.
Yeah, so there is a practice used in it's a systemic practice in social service and social care, and the tool is called a genogram. So a genogram is basically like a family tree, but with more keys and more annotation on things that people have experienced in their life. So it's typically 3 generations, so grandparents, parents, children, and you can just look at it, and if you've used the tool enough, you can see it, and you'll get answers from that poster immediately. And doing this exercise many times as a student, you can see the trends, that the patterns that run through families, threads that go all the way through generations, whether it's sexual exploitation, sexual abuse, drug abuse, substance misuse, domestic violence, divorce, all of that stuff. And a fascinating thing happened once, and I'll make it as brief as possible, during an exercise where I was buddied up with someone, and they did their genogram. They did their personal family one first. You have to get consent whether you're happy to share it with your peer. They did it, and there was all sorts happening. Yeah, there was, dysfunctional family, and there was divorces and all these things, and then it was my turn to do mine. And alhamdulillahi rabbil alameen, marriage, no broken lines.
Alhamdulillah.
Marriage,
Alhamdulillah.
no broken line. Marriage, children, married, no alcohol, no drugs, no violence, no nothing. Everyone Muslim, star and crest,
except for Anwar.
Yeah. and there was the same faith running through, and then a tutor came and said, how did that kind of this exercise feel? And the person said that after seeing Aki's, I feel really embarrassed of my family. And I said, look, you shouldn't feel embarrassed of your family. It's nothing. No. But it's not about how you should feel.
It's sad.
But I understand what you mean by that. And I obviously I didn't say it, but I'll say it today in this podcast. The reason why so and so felt embarrassed is because they knew that's what a family should have looked like.
Exactly.
They knew that.
Absolutely.
And if they were able to swap in an ideal world, but still have the same members, of course, they would swap. And it goes back to what you said about how integral family is.
This family is being attacked from all sides now. In the West, it's dying out. Families don't exist no more. Marriage is down and divorce is up. Why? The question is why? They have lost these traditional values. Now, in my opinion, look, you wanna break up the family. You wanna be a guy who just goes on Tinder and finds a different girl every week. That's your business. Me, I don't worry about other people. I worry about me. And I can tell you that to have that family unity is the greatest experience. Number one is Allah. Second greatest experience is family unity. And this family unity only exists when we sacrifice for the unity of this family. This generation now, they've become the selfie generation. my Instagram, my me. I don't want to get pregnant. I have stretch marks. I don't want to have a wife. I'll be tied down. I have all these girls. It's all about me, my profile, my connections, my social network.
Yeah.
So basically, your father sacrificed for you. His father sacrificed for you. And if you go back far enough, they went through the plague. They went through the war. They went through famine. They did everything to bring you here. And you're like, oh, finally. Because all parents, we say, I'm going to give my kid a better life. All of us.
Of course.
I'm going to pay the price and he's going to have a better life. Okay, here we are. The generation with the better life. What did we do? Look back 100 generations. They all brought you to here. You have your microphone. You have your lights. You have your airplanes. You did it. Now, what are you going to do with it? You know what? I'm going to end it here with me. I'm not going to have any kids, no family. Everything you guys did, khalas, I'm going to end it. Me, when I think about my family, I think about my kids, my family, and my progeny. All of them. What they did to bring me here, I'm passing it on. I have a debt to pay. I'm going to raise my kids. I'm going to educate them. And inshallah, they continue the progeny. If they don't, wallahi, if they don't, that was out of my control. When I'm in front of Allah, I'm going to say, Allah, I took him, I raised him, I fed him, I loved him, I taught him. And this is what he did.
May Allah bless the Zahabi progeny with many, many generations.
Inshallah.
I mean, Ya Rab. On that note,